Hello, happy Sunday. I hope we're all doing all right. It feels like every other day is a long time because I've missed you guys. I hope you missed me too. First of all, I want to do a special shout out to people that have bought our land, people that decided to leave other people that are selling and chose us. We are very grateful. I am very grateful. I want to thank you for trusting us. I want to thank you for entrusting your hard-earned money into our hands. And one thing I can promise anybody, whether whoever already bought or whoever is still thinking about it, this is a no scam zone, and this is where you always get value for your money. You will always get value for your money. We're not here to hype price anyhow and take advantage of diaspora money. We just want to give value rather than get money. Yes, I want to be rich. I like money, but we are going to be rich legitimately. Also, people have bought and they did their due diligence, went as far as going to the ministry to check the survey plan. They found it there. They brought their lawyer, make sure the survey plan was exactly what is on site. They met it just like that. So if you have any questions don't scare us, because we don't have anything to hide. And my special shout out goes to one of my subscribers. He was the first person that called me the first day I advertised that land. He emailed me the same day. We moved on to WhatsApp chats. He was like, send me your account details. I sent him the company's account. And the next day, I asked him, you don't want to send someone to go and see it? He said, no, that he trusts me already. And he sent the money for the physical allocation. And I'm still surprised till tomorrow that this man has this level of trust, just like that. And following suit, some more people have done the same thing. And the biggest one is somebody that just bought one of our duplexes based on trust. I'm so wowed. I'm so elated. I feel honored, and I want to appreciate everybody that supports me, that supports my channel. It's a level of trust that I don't take for granted, and the only promise I can make is you won't be disappointed trusting us. So today I want to make a video, and don't forget, we are not only selling land, we build. If you have your own land that you already bought, you can contract to us. If you want to buy from us and build, you can do that. If you want to buy our build and sell, you can do that. If you want to buy our estate land and build on it, you can do that. Anything building, anything construction, you can check out our website and see everything we do. KoboKisLimited.com, KoboKisLTD.com. So today I want to talk about limitations of doing business in Nigeria. So what brought about this topic? One of the people that bought our acres, she was trying to advertise the acre to one of her friends so that that friends can also buy for business, because she bought it for like an industry, to build an industry for something. I don't want to expose anybody's business idea. So she pitched the idea to her friend and see if she could buy. And the friend was like, hell no, she cannot do business in Nigeria. She would rather go to Ghana because Nigeria doesn't have electricity. That goes to one side. So I'm like, electricity is a reason somebody is ignoring doing business in Nigeria and choosing Ghana over Nigeria. God so good. I have another subscriber. Me and the person we are still talking. You still want to find out more about the land. But the person I don't know, he just introduced himself and told me some things he had gone through. Currently, they're in Ghana. Of course, they live in Canada and Ghana. But currently, right now, as I speak, the person is in Ghana. And the person said he has tried both countries like Ghana and Nigeria, although he's currently in Ghana, but he's going to end up relocating back to Nigeria because there are a lot of things he sees in Nigeria that Ghana does not have. And the thing just did me somehow that somebody is in Ghana, they've lived abroad, they want to relocate back to Africa. They've tried Ghana, they've tried Nigeria, and they are choosing Nigeria over Ghana. And somebody is there talking about there's no electricity in Nigeria. I mean, let me stop using that statement, there's no electricity in Nigeria, because when you say there's no electricity somewhere, that means they don't even have a connection at all. So I'm going to say there's no 24 hours electricity in Nigeria, according to that person, allegedly. That's why they want to go to Ghana. From what I know, a lot of places in Nigeria now have up to 22 hours electricity. And even if it's still what it used to be, like businesses surviving on diesel generator like Meccano and all other big generators, I don't believe electricity should be a reason why somebody takes their business away from a place like Nigeria to Ghana. Come to think of it, I said it in one of my videos, and I'm surprised that somebody picked that statement and put in the comment section that Nigeria alone is a market. Ghana is like 3 states in Nigeria. Unless you are planning to do a small size retail, that is when you will not make your money in Nigeria. So I'm trying to do this. I'm doing this video because I know, apart from this one person that I said it in somebody's ear, that said it in my ears, there will be a lot of more people thinking the same thing. That's why I said, let me come and talk about it. Maybe your orientation can change a little bit. So, growing up, yeah, I know that there are a lot of companies that are folded up in Nigeria. But you do know that in this present time, a lot of companies are going to Nigeria. There is something they saw. I'm very sure there is something they saw. Chinese don't just immigrate or emigrate from their country. They don't just do it. They do it with focus, with purpose. For you to see a lot of Chinese in Nigeria right now, something is happening. There's something they've seen. Indians don't just leave their country. For you to see a lot of them in Nigeria right now, there's something they are saying that someone else is not saying. So back to the size of business you're doing. If you are going to be doing a kind of business that you're touching the barest minimum of 7 million people, at least in a month, let me not even use a day. If you're doing a kind of business that will touch the barest minimum of 7 million people in a country that has 237 million people, then why would you say because of electricity? Have you forgotten that electricity is part of your business expenses? If you spent money on diesel to keep your business running, it's part of your business expenses. And it should go back to the final consumer. You are not the one paying for that diesel. Yeah, I understand that it can be challenging, but be somebody that doesn't dwell on a problem. Learn to look over your problems and see, how can I solve this problem if there is a bigger light at the end of the tunnel? You jump over that problems, add the stress of jumping over it to your stress, to your expenses. The land I am selling right now, I'm not making mouth. I spent 7.5 million naira to design that estate. Just the design. Some people would have seen it as a waste of money, as a loss. Yeah, I'm keeping the design. A day might come, I might end up using it in another estate. But the truth is, I spent that money, but I'm going to make my money back. I'm not selling the land the same price as I bought it. The price they are selling land in that area now is double what I bought it. And it's just less than a year ago. I bought the land. I bought it for, I paid for it May 26. Yeah. Around May 24, 26th was when we signed all the paperwork. And the land has doubled in price, but I chose to bring the price down because I'm like, I've made my profit. I don't need to sell it at the same price as everybody. Let me move. I'm like, forget I'm Urobo and I speak Yoruba. When it comes to business, I think like an Igbo man. I'm not interested in big profits. I just want my money to keep. I like turnover. That is me. That's why I started doing business at a very small, young age. I just like to remove money and let the money come back. Remove it, let the money come back. That's the way I reason. I like my money. I like flipping money. Let me put it that way. So, what am I saying in essence? I spent all that money to design the estate. Now we're not doing the estate again. Everything I spent, I did a store. We bought cement. The same day we wanted to start fencing the place, we realized that, okay, we can't use it for an estate because of the road that passed through it, dividing our lot into two. It makes no sense to have two different estates facing each other. Everything I had spent on that land, there is sand on it. We had a store. I had to spend 60,000 naira to demolish the store. Yeah, I've spent all this money, but it's going to go back to everybody that is buying it right now. It's not a loss to me. The same thing happens when you're doing business. Everything you spent. Every day I make a payment in my estate, I write it down because it's not going to come on me at the end of the day. The final consumers are paying for it. So why is your diesel expenses a headache for you? You're still going to put it on the business. The only thing you just have to make sure is you don't run out of diesel. That's all you have to make sure. And that's why you need connection. No matter the scarcity, people that have connection, they don't run out. When I was working in Nigeria as a builder, we always had petrol. We always had diesel. We always had it. If there was no diesel in the whole of Lagos, big places, we had people that used to bring them for us from Ikorodu. Like, they would bring a steady, bus full, 50-liter kegs. It would be filled, 18% jar bus, they will fill it up with 50-liter kegs, filled with diesel, petrol, everything we needed. So, I'm just surprised that electricity would be a reason someone would leave a hub for business to a small town. I'm sorry, Ghanaians, but you all know that Ghana is like a small town beside Nigeria. So I'm not trying to bring their country down. So I want to cite example of businesses that have made it in Nigeria, businesses that have just opened in Nigeria, ignoring every limitation. You all need to go and check Ibro Fish Signature. I stumbled on that lounge yesterday and I said I have to talk about it. It is so beautiful. You would think you're in Dubai. It's in Abuja. Ibro, like IBRO Fish Signature. They sell fish platter. Very nice. Why didn't this person talk about electricity? If you want to go and eat fish there, you have to have 100,000 naira in your pocket for one person. Is it one person? I think for two, yeah, a table of two, you are paying 100,000 for tilapia fish. So you think these people, they are looking at electricity? No, there are days their light will be out. Immediately it's going out, they are turning on their generator. These are people that look beyond the problems and they think about, what can I do? Also, Majestic Farm in Abuja. Just Google Majestic Farm. You will be amazed at the kind of poultry farming that person set up. Majestic ends with a K, not a C for them. That farm is a role model to any kind of farm in that Nigeria. And they are making their money big time. If they tell me that guy is a billionaire, I'm not going to argue it. Because that farm will swallow any kind of poultry. in Nigeria. We've been following it since we started building the farm I talked about. We've been following that majestic farm because it's a farm that you want to learn from. Also, I'm going to talk about Landmark. The man that owns Landmark, it was in UK. According to him, he had to sell everything, cash out from wherever he could cash out from, and went to Nigeria to invest. People that are talking up and down that the coastal road messed Landmark up. Have you seen Landmark come online to say it himself that the coastal road messed him up? No. A portion of Landmark was affected, but do you think it wasn't compensated? How would somebody spend $150 million pounds on a business and it will not get CFO for that business? That's stupidity. So if the more you put in your business, the more you want to protect that business. You are not just going to do a business and say, anytime there is no electricity, your business is not running. That means what you put in that business is not enough to protect. If it is a big amount enough to protect, you will do everything to make sure that that business keeps running. So, another one I want to talk about is Dangote. Do you think Dangote does not have cement in other countries? Why is he focusing on Nigeria? There's a reason. Dangote has cement in a lot of countries that have better electricity than Nigeria. But he's still not ignoring that Nigeria. Nigeria is a place Dangote makes his biggest money. And have you wondered why he's the richest black man in the world? Why is the richest black man in the world not from the so-called America or from Europe or from which other country have black people? I don't want to mention Arab. Why are they not from there? Why are they from the Nigeria that somebody said because of electricity they are not going to be opening a business in Nigeria? These are people that are using the challenges of that country because other people don't want to do it. They are doing it. Do you know how many things Dangote monopolized for a long time before people started saying, I could do this too? Before we started saying Mr. Chef salt. Do you know how many Dangote salt I've sold? Before we started doing any other sugar, apart from St. Louis, that I woke up, that I came to this world to meet. After St. Louis, Dangote was what I know. Then there was this poultry farm that I stumbled on, I think 3 days ago or 4 days ago. It's in Oshogbo. Somebody invested a whole 300 million naira to do a poultry farm, and from the estimation, they're gonna get 245 million back in 18 months. That means they're putting 300 million, and in 22 months, they're already getting their 300 million back. And the rest of it is going to be what? Profit. So I think we need to start thinking outside of the box. Anybody that electricity is going to be a barrier to your business success, then you didn't invest enough. That means the scale of that business is very small, and you cannot afford to run a 200,000 diesel for a business of 1 million. I can understand that. But if the scale of your business is big enough, you're going to make your money for sure, and electricity is not going to be your problem. Never. I understand that it's not everybody that has the startup capital for a big business. But after spending all these years abroad, you now want to do business, you go and do a business of 200,000, 1 million naira. I mean, I don't know what you relocated for. If someone is relocating, there should be a well laid down plan. And after planning, you should have a budget. And after having a budget, you should cut down your expenses abroad. We make money abroad. I'm generalizing it now. Even as a warehouse worker, we make money abroad. What takes our money away from us is our expenses. And once you have all these goals, all these plans, budgets, I expect that anybody that is serious about working towards their plans should know how to cut down their expenses. There was a time they were charging me $140 for my phone bill. I had to call them. Why is it $140? They told me because I was on pay as you go. I said, okay, I'm not doing pay as you go anymore. What is the cheapest you have? They said I could pay $62 for my 2 lines, my personal and my business phone. I said, please put me on that cheapest one. Shebi is to call and receive text message. I already have internet for data. So why am I paying $140? You see that $77 that I saved, if I change it every month, I know how much that is in Nigeria. So you see all those little subscriptions that are not useful for you. Some people have Hulu, they have Amazon, they have Netflix, they have this. By the time you check how much you're spending on subscription every month, you're already spending about $200. 20 here, 30 here, 10 there. If my daughter asks me for Disney, you are not watching Disney. Watch your own channel on Netflix. Netflix I have for my age, you have for your age. So go on Netflix and watch the one that is for your age. That $10 Netflix can cover both me and you. So why should I do Disney subscription for you? Because of what? Disney that is even already doing children LGBTQ. I'm not interested. So this, what am I trying to say? All this little, oh, it's just $20, it's just $10, it's just $5. They go a long way in accumulating. And at the end of the month, you realize that there are some $500 that are going to a place they are not supposed to go to. So another thing I want to talk about that is a big deal. I have someone that is turning 8-year-old on Tuesday. You know, all these children, they are into all these games. So if you have a child of that age, you should know what they call DTI, dress to impress. It's a game whereby you have your avatar and you dress them up. You go for a competition like dress fashion what is it called now, parade, and they display all their avatars and somebody wins. They call it dress to impress. Guess what? Every time I'm working, my daughter is watching TV, so I'm listening to whatever they're saying in a program. I like that because once they start saying things that are not for her age, I quickly tell her remove it. So she was watching this DTI new launch, the things they just launched for their new season, and DTI added Nigeria to their avatar. I am so impressed. And I asked myself that of all the countries in Africa, why did DTI choose Nigeria? Have you asked? I mean, are you asking yourself some questions about why are people choosing Nigeria? It is Nigerians that hate Nigeria. I don't understand. It's Nigerians that hate Nigeria. Foreigners go to Nigeria and they have great things to say about this country. If only anybody can just swallow that courage. I mean, just eat the frog and jump on the plane and say, let me ignore this PR about Nigeria and even see what this country is all about. You will love Nigeria. I used to think it was just Nigerians that feel like Nigeria is home until Gano said, there's something about Nigeria that feels like home. This guy is not from Nigeria. Gano said there's something about Nigeria that feels like home. You won't feel like you're a stranger when you're in Nigeria. There's something sweet about that country. It just feels like home. So if all these foreigners are coming and taking advantage, why should the owner of the home kick it and say, fuck you? I mean, and say F you to that country? I mean, let's think. I understand Nigeria has all these challenges. They have all these problems. But there are a lot of opportunities bigger than the problems of Nigeria. That at the end of the day, if people are taking advantage of these opportunities, the problems can turn around and become a history. I understand that the government is corrupt. Every government is corrupt. It's just that the way Nigeria government slap it in our faces is the annoying part. But every government is corrupt. If you ask an American today, they will tell you the government is corrupt. If you ask a Ghanaian today, they will tell you the government is corrupt. Ask an European, they will tell you the government is corrupt. That's what we hear every time we meet somebody from a different country. So, my brothers, my sisters, let us open our eyes to the opportunities foreigners are coming to take advantage of. The biggest real estate developer in Port Harcourt is a Gambian. He was a carpenter in his home country and came to to Nigeria, and became a real estate developer. The farmer that is growing the foreign vegetables now in Nigeria is a Kenyan. He is a Kenyan. This man chose to ignore habanero, tomatoes, and went for those vegetables that are more challenging. Nigeria has a fertile land for every kind of thing you want to grow. All you need to know is understand the method. Yeah, I understand that there are some fruits that need harsh weather, like the imported apple and stuff. But there are a lot of things farmers can grow. But how wide are you opening your imagination? Does everybody just want to grow cassava? Just want to grow maize? Cocoa? What else? Have you seen other things that you be like, how do they grow this thing? Can Nigeria weather do it? And you try it. We need to try new things. Don't just flow with the crowd. Right from when till today, I can't do beats. I can't bake. Yeah, a lot of people will look at me as a terrible woman. How can you not bake? How can you not do simple beats? Because one thing about me, since I was a child, anything people are rushing into, I don't go into it. Because I will see it as a time will come whereby you will start wearing your own thing if all of you start doing it. I remember that time when everybody was doing bead. They would go and start registering for bead. There was a time it was wire works. Everybody was going and start registering for wire works. At some point, it's cake baking. Yeah, it's good to know those things and take your own to another level. But have you thought about just separating yourself and not going with the crowd? Just think, the person I said I don't want to expose her business idea, when she told me what she wanted to do with that land, I was so happy because my partner and I talked about that thing a day before, that if only somebody can just start producing this thing, because there's a challenge getting that thing. We started doing construction in Nigeria. My partner and I, we started doing construction in Nigeria early last year. And there's a challenge. The quality of that thing they sell, we are not satisfied because we've been exposed to the quality abroad. And we were just talking about it with our engineer that, I wish someone could start manufacturing this thing and using abroad standard, learn how they mix it here and take it home. And the day after, when my YouTube subscriber, she has almost turned a sister now, like we talk almost every day. When she talked about that thing, I was so happy. And I told her, we just talked about it yesterday. I am supporting you all the way. Please do it. Do it. Learn it. Like if it means you have to go to places that do it in America just to freelance, please do it. You will sell. The truth about Nigeria is, don't be deceived by people that are saying people are suffering. Yes, people are suffering, but people have money in Nigeria. People have money in Nigeria, and quality is scarce in Nigeria. Quality is very scarce. Once they see that quality, they will pay for it. Once they find it, they will pay for it. So if you can just think about even things that are already existing that you feel like this thing is not being done right, you can hijack it and do it right, and you will make your money. Don't be carried away by there is no road, there is no electricity. As long as you are not selling eggs, you don't need good roads. If you're not selling eggs that can break before it gets to its destination, you don't need good roads. You don't. Please, let's use these challenges as ladders, and let's stop suffering and smiling abroad. Let's see what we can do back home and have a soft life, better quality of life. Stop being a slave to anybody and be your own boss. And see how you'll be waking up refreshed and happy every day. With this few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince and not confuse you that electricity is not a problem to your business startup in Nigeria. Thank you. Bye.